Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the United Stand. Welcome to your afternoon update on everything that's going on with United. I'm Adam. If you didn't already know, I'm sure you did because my name is on the thumbnail, if you like it or not, people. Anyway, getting into it, what is happening today? Well, we're talking Šeško mainly. We have just put out a tweet on our Twitter feed on the United Stand regarding something that Gary Neville has just been talking about regarding he being away where Chelsea were playing pre-season and rumours and stories about Frankie de Jong. Yes, Frankie de Jong is back, people, and we have to talk about it. But I'm going to give you a little bit of a break first and go into the Šeško and everything that comes with that, and if it is actually worth doing. I want to get all your comments in this because I want interaction on this one. See if you think this is actually worth it. Or are we as a fan base now just desperate to see anyone come through the door? This happens a lot every single summer. And if we look at it, is this the problem? Is this why we're failing all the time? And why we've got a huge squad of players that we cannot get rid of? Are we falling into the same trap is what I'm saying. This is what I want to get your opinions on. And I'm going to start with Šeško because he falls into this bracket. 19 plays in the Austrian Bundesliga. I mean, where is the standard there for one? I asked the question, are Manchester United actually scouting? Was we scouting Šeško? Is this a player that the club really think they're going to fit into Ten Hag's plan? I mean, he played with Haller up front at Ajax. He is quite tall. He's at 6'3", Šeško, so he's no small fry. Let's just say he could be a target man. And you look into details about his season and what he could bring to Manchester United. Straight off, first of all, I look at it and I go, 10 games injured last season at the age of 19. Is that a concern? Is that a concern for you guys? Do you feel like there's a problem there already? I mean, 10 games injured, it's quite a lot, really, considering for the ages, and all muscle injuries as well. Not knocks, actual muscular injuries, which is a concern. 17 goal contributions in 36 games, 7 assists and 10 goals. Again, I'm going to bring the question back to you. Is it a player that really is going to suit Manchester United? Do we want to be bringing in a 19-year-old now? Do we know, and are we convinced that Šeško is a player that Manchester United have been scouting or have been looking at this player? That's what I want to know. Has he been on United's books? Has he been looked at? Has he been looked at in detail? I don't know. I'm not convinced at all. I'm not convinced by the Šeško rumours whatsoever. He scored a goal in pre-season against Liverpool and the whole fan base starts going up, checking YouTube, checking everything they can to know about him, and all of a sudden we've got to buy him. 55 million euros, 45 million quid. We need to buy this guy. Honestly, and you can say it's sort of a negative slope for me on this one, but let's be honest. It's a 19-year-old from a very, very poor league. And yeah, they give Liverpool a run for the money. I mean, Manchester United was shocking last season, and we beat Liverpool 4-0 in pre-season in our first game. So look into that as a pre-season game. Liverpool just turned up in the first half competitive game against City and won a trophy. So can we look at this and go, wow, Šeško is the man. He's the one that's going to change everything. There are positives on this as well. Obviously, he won't mind being an understudy if Cristiano stays. That's a positive. You can look at that because we're going to struggle to bring in a big name striker if Cristiano stays. It's Ronaldo's going to play, and can we find anyone that's going to play second fiddle? Anyone of quality right now at a certain stage of their career, young, mid-20s sort of striker, isn't going to want to come to Manchester United not playing Champions League football and sit on the bench when Ronaldo wants to play, because Ronaldo has got that clout, that power, and we've seen it already in this pre-season, what's happened with Ronaldo. So I look at that and I go, there's another problem right there. And to be honest, I'm looking at Šeško and I'm going, 19, have we not got that already in our team? Have we not got an Alejandro Garnacho coming through as another forward option? I did say it in my post-match review of the game against Vallecano the other day that Garnacho needs to stay within this squad. I do believe we've got signs there of a player. Let's not forget, he's trained with this first team all summer. He's had first team action already. He was our best player in that game against Vallecano. And if we're going off a single pre-season performance, which I think a lot of fans are in terms of Šeško, I mean, yeah, he had a good game. He scored a goal against Liverpool, like I said. Is that enough for you? If you show me proof that he was actually being scouted and Ten Hag actually wants this man, then I trust in the manager. But he's just come on the scene all of a sudden. Where was he the start of pre-season? Honestly, that's how I'm looking at it right now. I know he's a completely different player. I can see your comments coming in there. He's a different kettle of fish in terms of you could probably just put him as a centre forward and he stays as a centre forward. I understand that. But are you willing to spend that much money on a 19-year-old, completely unproven? If you didn't know that Manchester United were scouting this guy and Ten Hag had sort of ticked this box for this player, honestly, I don't trust in the football club at the moment. I trust in Ten Hag and what he's bringing. I can see in his transfers what he's trying to do. And this just came out of the blue, which is sort of the red flag for me. This is why I'm looking at it going, not quite. I mean, how good is the Australian Bundesliga? And everyone can say he's a different player. He's not quite that Garnacho type player who comes in from the wing. But to be honest, if Ronaldo stays, we've got Martial and Ronaldo. We've got another option for the left-hand side in Garnacho and Rashford. And you've got Sancho for the right-hand side. Would you not? And I'm going to ask the question now. Would you go for Antony for quite a lot more, but still, would you go for an Antony, spend a little bit more, or would you bring in a 19-year-old unproven? Antony, yes, I know he's unproven in the Premier League and all that, but this is another player that's worked with Ten Hag and knows this system already. And I've said this before, this is key in all of my thinking, and you can disagree with me all you want. Get your comments in the comment section now, or if you're watching this after it's finished live, comment below. A lot of people don't agree with the way I look at it, but this is just how I see it. I mean, I look at it and I go, Manchester United in a transfer window right now, and everyone's like, we've got to spend this amount of money. It's ridiculous how Ten Hag hasn't been backed and this and that, and it's not been fully backed. I think if we got De Jong, then it would sort of salvage a little bit of this window because it's a player in a key position that we've been lacking and a player that we know Ten Hag desperately wants. But like I said at the top of this show, have we not done this and this caused a problem for the club over the last decade? We need a player. You can name 10, 15 players off the top of your head right now that we bought in that we were all excited about when they came in and they completely flopped at this football club. Absolute flopped. And they were all for decent money. And now we're looking at this again. And I'm not disrespecting or trying to say that Šeško is not a good player at all. Just my opinion. I think this money needs to be put aside and put into a player that Ten Hag really wants. If someone comes out now and says Ten Hag wants this man, the club have been looking at him, you can trust in him and he can build him up over this season while he's playing second fiddle to the likes of Martial and Ronaldo, then fair enough. I've just not heard enough from the football club. I've not heard enough within the rumours around this and what's been reported in the media that Šeško has been on United's radar for so long. It came out of the blue all of a sudden. And you can't say that there was rumours before that because there really wasn't. So for me, I'm looking at it, I'm going, we have got players at the club at the moment who can help us out in that forward line, like a Garnacho. And if Ronaldo stays, this sort of goes away completely, the Šeško story for me. Because you'll have Martial, you'll have Ronaldo. Rashford can go into the middle. Yeah, I know what you're going to say about that with Rashford in the middle. But it's there as a third option only. That's what I would say. So don't get too carried away with the Rashford thing. But honestly, if Ronaldo stays, and this is where it comes key, I don't think this Šeško deal's even there. And hopefully Manchester United are looking at, I said it, I think we need at least 2 more players, and that's a bare minimum. The money has to be spent in midfield. I'm sorry. We are so short in midfield. It is ridiculous. I looked at that game against Vallecano the other day and I thought Jimmy Garner played well. Is it fair to put Jimmy Garner in under that pressure right now? I like the way he played. I liked how he worked. We need to figure out who our combinations are going to be in that midfield and work out that system and give players time. And this is why I said in my post-match review of the Vallecano game that we are not ready. I think it's going to be another 2 or 3 months before we really even start seeing Ten Hag ball. We'll see snippets of it, but these players are going to need time. And it's painful for a lot of the fan base because we don't want to give them time after what they give us last season. And that's where the anguish is. And that's where we just want to see fresh faces because we think that this is going to solve everything. And it isn't going to solve everything. It is going to cause us the same problems we've had before, season after season. Ben Ellis with a super chat. Unfortunately, we don't sign anyone else now. The board are playing for time till the window closes. Could well be a case of that, Ben, mate. Honestly, I don't see much else going on. I think the eggs are firmly in the De Jong basket. I am going to touch on De Jong news and updates in a minute because, like I said at the top of the show, Romano has been speaking. Gary Neville's just come out with a tweet as well today regarding something he heard within the Chelsea camp while he was away in Miami, where Chelsea have spent a bit of their pre-season as well. But Going back to Šeško to finish off, I mean, I would prefer not buying this guy, honestly. I look at it and I go, 19. Is he going to come in and improve our first team right now? Debatable, I would say. And like I said, he's unproven. He could come in and smash it to bits. He really could. But honestly, the position we're in right now, I think it needs to be a player. I'm looking at the forward line and I'm going, Garnacho is cover there for the left-hand side. We've done well there with Garnacho. Well, we've been fortunate with Garnacho that he is that type of player, that fearless player that actually could come on and do a job for us this season and give us a little bit of cover. But past that, I'm worried about that front line in terms of bringing that next player in. It has to be the man that really knows how to run that system of Ten Hag, who's going to fit best into that system. And it all depends on Ronaldo. Ronaldo is holding up a lot of everything at the moment. If he wants to stay and he's fully committed, then we go with Ronaldo 100%. There's no two ways about it. Ronaldo has to be the linchpin, and Martial will probably lose out in that. And that's another debate to have. But with Ronaldo still at the football club, forget Šeško in my eyes. I don't think that is a deal that's even going to get anywhere near completing. If we did sign him, I'd be surprised. Manchester United don't need money spending on squad players right now. I think we've done that already in Malacia. I think we did well to get the Eriksen deal over the line for free. That's good business. Martinez does look like he's going to come into that first team. I think he'll play alongside Maguire. So there's a player that's going to help us out in terms of first team, strengthen that straight away. And then you're looking at past that, midfield. It's one or two injuries away from a disaster. And we're throwing young lads in there that really shouldn't be put under that pressure. They really shouldn't. De Jong comes in, solves a little bit of that problem. And I do think that the club is sort of holding on to that whole thing for the transfer window. I said it before, I could see that one going all the way to deadline day. But in terms of De Jong, just another super chat there from Richard. We need to get Anthony instead of Šeško. If you had to tell me, if I had a choice between the two, that's where I would go as well, Richard. I think Anthony suits our system better. And I just think he's played at a better level. Champions League, Eredivisie. I mean, it's no coincidence that the 6 games that Šeško did play in the Champions League, he had zero impact in the big occasion games. And that, again, for me, maybe not quite ready. Have we got time right now when we've got young players ourselves coming through? Should we not trust in the teenage sort of bracket players instead of going investing in them? Have we not got enough coming through right now? We have got a lot of quality coming through our academy. Maybe they should be the players to fill them little gaps, not first team, but fill the little gaps of squad when we need them. We have got some breaking news coming through. I'm not going to. All right, okay. So, sorry. Someone in my ear, as it always happens on my shows for some reason. But it does look like there is an outgoing at Manchester United that's just been broken. It's through the whole show up in smoke, as it always does. But it is in regards to Alex Telles. Alex Telles to Seville is practically done. Only medical exams and details on the loan contract with Manchester United are missing. That should be one out, definitely confirmed. Looking at that now, it's been put up on your screen there as well now, guys. So just if you want to go on for more details on where that is and everything that regarding that deal for Alex Telles, then it's on the United Stand Twitter feed right now. So get over there. Telles is gone, people. Looks like it. Another one out of the door. I think we knew that was inevitable with Malacia coming in. Obviously, we've got Shaw there already. But interesting enough, we now only have 2 left backs. Where start of the season, we had 4 in Fernandez, which was a viable option. He's gone on loan to Preston. Obviously, played with the year in the under-23s. He's gone out on loan to Preston. Now, Telles is going, I think it is out on loan. Yes, sorry, just needed to read that again. He's going out on loan to Seville. Again, whether there's an option to buy on that, I think more details will come through towards the back end of this deal when it gets announced properly. But Telles he's packed his bags and he's on his way. I mean, to be honest, in pre-season, Telles, I've seen him play at centre-back. I've seen him play in holding midfield. I think the best I've seen Telles play in a United shirt has been in central midfield and centre-back, and that was on the pre-season tour. So that tells you a lot for left-back positioning for Telles. And his time has come. I do believe that he warranted a place in the team last season to be seen what he can do and how good he is. But honestly, I've never seen a weaker left back in my life. I was happy that he got given a chance and Shaw was given the competition. But if you would have asked me now, having seen Tellers play and given a proper run out, which he was last season, I would pick Luke Shaw all day long. And I was one beating the drum to see what Tellers had got. And you can never really judge a player until he consistently gets game time. And that's the problem at Manchester United. Not a lot of players get consistent game time. When they get given a chance, especially under Ole, a player could do brilliant and then he'd be straight out the team for one of Ole's favourites the week after. And that was a problem that we had at United. And I do believe that right now, I think we've got the right mix at left back there with Shaw and Malacia. So Tellers going out the door, I think, is the right thing. And it just thins that squad out a little bit more. That's another player gone. And yeah, he may have had a good rapport within the dressing room. He may have been friends with Bruno and Fred. It seemed that way all over pre-season tour and everything like that. But this is football and this is business. I said, I think it was in Oslo, that the vibe around the pre-season tour and the games had gone from one of friendly, sort of relaxed atmosphere, everyone playing well, no pressure, to starting to get a feeling that the season is round the corner and business is being done. And that's what's happened. I mean, we've had 2 tough games recently against Vallecano and Atletico. Not performed brilliantly in either one. And heading into the season, you can see why a lot of United fans are sort of like, God, and why I said in my post-match review of the Vallecano game that this team is not ready. We're 3 months away, in my opinion. 3 months away. So, Tellez out the door. One more off the wage. Well, I'm hoping that Sevilla are going to be paying his wages. Like I said, the more details on this one will come out as we get them. But as of now, we're hearing that Tellez is definitely out of the door at Manchester United. Only any medicals to do with Seville. And that's that. Like I said, underperformed last season. Not good enough for Manchester United and the right move for us to make. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to sell a player again. It's another loan, which is itself, it's just another annoyance with this football club. We are so bad at selling players. But yeah, it's another player off the wage bill, I would think, anyway, at least. But yeah, I just needed to, that was the Tellers news that came to us mid-show. I was going to get into what Gary Neville had said regarding Frenkie de Jong. Yes, Frenkie de Jong news is back, everyone. I know you don't like it. I know you just want this deal done and put to bed, but bits come out all the time. We was hearing, I think it was Romero again, that was saying there's going to be an update on Frenkie de Jong by the end of today. Nothing has happened as usual on that side of things. It's getting closer and closer and closer. And as close to the season comes and Barcelona are registering players and all these players that they have got, then the decision is going to have to be made. I think Laporte has come out and said that, look, we will honour the wages of Frenkie de Jong, but there's no way that they're looking like they are going to be paying that referred payment of wages that de Jong is owed. Well, from the noises that are coming out. But interestingly enough, Gary Neville's put a tweet out, and this tweet is on the United Twitter feed as well, guys. It says, I was in Miami when Barcelona were there playing 2 weeks ago, and I got told third hand de Jong preferred staying at Barca or Chelsea and London. Wasn't a concrete source, but this follows that thought that Chelsea are looking to hijack Manchester United's bid for Frenkie de Jong. Now, obviously, Chelsea are looking at hijacking City's bid for Cucurella. I think Chelsea have lost out on a few players this season, but with the new owners in place at Chelsea and them looking to make statements, I think it's a tough pre-season for Chelsea, and they've sort of adopted this this method within the transfer window of just waiting around, just seeing who comes in, and then just seeing if they can come in on the last minute for a certain player and outbid. Let the other teams do the work as such, and then come in, put their bid in, and take that player away. City have turned down 50 million for Cucurella. It's scandalous price anyway alone. He's not worth that much at all. I mean, he had a good game against us and an all right season, but let's get serious now. 50 million is great business for Brighton, and how their club is run, that will fit perfect for them. But Chelsea now looking towards Frenkie de Jong. I think the longer this goes on, the more chance we've got of United having egg on their face, because if Chelsea come into the reckoning for de Jong, that's the biggest worry out of everything. I initially thought Chelsea were going to be the concern for Ronaldo in terms of Ronaldo leaving, but Frankie de Jong to Chelsea makes more sense. I know they've got a lot of midfields there, but they can move players on, and they have got players they can move on. And I do believe that Chelsea now is a big concern. Another one, Romano's now reporting on the Telles news, which we just broke as well for you guys, which is Sevilla pushing to sign Alex Telles as direct contracts with Manchester United continue. That's from Romano. Does look like, I said a minute ago, that Telles is done and dusted. We knew this was going to happen anyway. We had to move on, like I just said. But yeah, Telles out the door there. Romano just adding to the previous tweet that we put out about Telles being practically done. Romano has backed that up, and it does look like that deal now is going through. Bye-bye, Alex. Unfortunately for him, not for us. Say no more. But yeah, into the bigger fish. Telles isn't one of them. And that is Frankie de Jong, which is, I mean, the window could all come down to it. I think I said this on the show the other day, where we lose Ronaldo and we don't get de Jong. I think the majority of the fan base would go into absolute meltdown if we don't get de Jong now after all of this. It would be an embarrassment to this football club. The fans would be in uproar after the season we had last season, and it would put absolute immense pressure on Erik ten Hag in trying to turn this team around. We're now seeing him trying to turn Fred and McTominay into midfielders. It is not fair. This is the least any new manager has had spent on him in Manchester United's reign, post Sir Alex Ferguson. He's had less money spent than any other new manager coming through the door. I guarantee if you'd have give Ten Hag Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 3 years and the amount of money that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was given, we would be up there challenging. I do believe that. I think that's where it would be. The right manager in place with the amount of money that Solskjaer was given and the amount of players that were brought in for him, then we would have been competing within the 3 years. I think we wasted that money. And I think we just had our fingers burnt with a lot of deals. There were deals that were right for the football club, and in the end, they proved that way. I look at it now, and I made a comment the other day. I did put it out on one of my videos on the United Stand, but the way I look at it now, and I want to get your opinions, and this is going to split the fan base. It's going to split the United Stand's comment section right now. I would say if Frankie de Jong does not come through the door, I don't want to buy another midfielder. I don't. And that sounds absolutely crazy to say that now. I don't want to make weights. I don't want to bring in Schneidlings, Schweinsteigers. I don't want Pereiras. I don't want these types of players at Manchester United anymore. And I said it before, and I've looked at it, and I've actually said before we should have our second choice ready or midfielders being brought in. And then I thought about it more, and I thought, you know what, Adam, you're probably wrong, because this is where this football club has gone wrong. I said this at the top of this show, and I'm going to say it again just to finish off, that Manchester United now, if we don't get Frankie de Jong, then should we really be going out looking for a make-weight who isn't going to improve this team and is going to be another one on that long list of players at Manchester United, like Telles, that we cannot even get a fee for? Are we actually scouting properly? My look on this is Erik ten Hag's system is in place. It needs to be in place for a season, and then the structure needs building above him while this season is going on, for them people to then start looking at the way this team is playing under Ten Hag to go out and find and spot the players that fit this system. You cannot put a system in place first season, pre-season, and go out and spend absolute boosters on players that you don't know are going to fit this system. And this is why I think Ten Hag has stayed close to home. He's been sensible in knowing that these players coming in know what he wants to do and won't take much to integrate into this team and the way he wants to play. Eriksen, I think, will be fine with this. Martinez, we already know. Malacia, he's already talked about his time at Feyenoord and how he knows he's the complete fullback now, and he needs that right fullback. He needs the fullbacks to be on point for the system to be in place. Manchester United need to build a structure this season now while this is going on of the way Ten Hag wants to play. That is what I think is the right way to go about it. We may not finish in the top four. In fact, I don't think we will finish in the top four. I've already said I think it's overachieving. The Europa League is an avenue in. I think we need to pursue that, definitely, to get back into the Champions League. But this is what I'm trying. the way I'm breaking it down, the way I see it is, as a club, have made this mistake season after season after season. We've not got the manager's top targets because for some reason, we wanted to make that happen in that summer, there and then, make that statement and we've done it so many times. It's like the first season, we should have seen the red flag. We went for Fabregas, funnily enough, another Barcelona player, which could end up being the same this summer, chasing a player all summer for David Moyes, if he did want him. Remember, Toni Kroos, Fabregas, these players, yeah, they might have worked. Then we got Fellaini. Then we brought in the likes of Schneidlin, Schweinsteiger, these sorts of players. We tried to make Pereira work, to put midfielders that just weren't good enough. The manager knows which players he needs. If we cannot get De Jong this summer, I don't think we should be going out looking to buy another midfielder unless it's a midfielder that Ten Hag wants and Ten Hag knows is going to fit this system. Should we not put the actual structure in place first? Give Ten Hag a bit of time. Expect that we may underachieve for the first couple of seasons, maybe. Compete possibly in the Europa League where it is a bit of a less level. I know it's going to completely upset a few people and there's going to be quite a lot that disagree with me. But for me, that's where I think United need to go. We need to have that structure in place. You don't build a structure in one pre-season and you don't go out and spend boosters on players just for the fact that you think we should be doing that because the new manager's in place and we had such a crap season last season. That's how I look at it. I don't know which other midfielder. I mean, we've talked about it, Lema, players like that. I mean, if Ten Hag is happy with them players, I'm happy to go forward with it. But we've heard nothing of any other midfielder apart from Frankie de Jong. There is interest and slight interest elsewhere. And I know I'm going back on what I said in terms of United should have their second choice in place, ready if de Jong doesn't happen. But really, it's just another wage on a player that probably isn't going to get in ahead of Fred, McTominay, Donny, or anyone else there right now. He's not going to come in ahead of them unless it's an exceptional player that, like Frankie de Jong, why do we have to go out and buy them? The problem we've got is the club should have made it quite clear that we were going to get Frankie de Jong and go and get Frankie de Jong. Hopefully that does happen before the start of the season, but it's up in the air at the moment. If you ask me right now, in terms of Frankie de Jong, 50-50 is where I'm at with it. Honestly, the Chelsea news scares me because I know that they can come in and do that. And that London lifestyle, Champions League football, the players that they've got, the manager that they've got, there is sadly more of a draw to go there for the likes of Frankie de Jong. And yeah, we can all sit here with our red tinted glasses on and say Chelsea over Manchester United. Yeah, but that's us as United fans. When you look at it from the outside as a player's perspective, then that changes completely. That's Chelsea. That's Champions League football. It's probably the same wages as what he wants because the new owners will probably do that to make a statement. And Chelsea will go all out to pull one over United in their first season under the new ownership. So for me, that's the concern right now. Catherine with a super chat. Overpaying for signings, giving out extravagant salaries, unable to sell players because of salary issues and paying them for loans. We are going down. That's exactly what I was going on about there. Then I know a lot of you are not going to agree with what I said. I'll finish it off now by saying if United don't get Frankie de Jong, I don't think we should go out and buy another midfielder. I think we have to wait for the structure to be put in place this season under Ten Hag. It's going to be painful, but who said that this was going to get fixed in one season? I think anyone did. I think the lights of them deadline day transfer window open has just got the fan base going absolutely mental and crazy again. And yes, we do need more. I've said we need more players, but I would prefer it to be players that Ten Hag has ticked off. I'm writing off Šeško. I'm saying if we don't sign Frankie de Jong, should we buy any other midfielder? I don't know what's going on at the club. I don't know who we're scouting. I don't know how long or if Ten Hag has got a short list of players. Unless the players that Ten Hag has ticked off, then I don't want to know. I just see the same old rinse and repeat Manchester United issue right now, and it's starting to worry me a little bit going into the season. I know the players that we've got right now aren't quite there. They're nowhere near good enough to challenge for the title. They've proved that over the last few years. So, I mean, I've seen people there saying Tielemans. I know Tielemans is on it. I know he's on that list possibly. But then you talk about Tielemans' running stats, and is he a Ten Hag player? That's what worries me. I think he runs less than any player in that Leicester team when you look at the stats. And you look at what Ten Hag wants from his team. Really? Is that a Ten Hag player? And that's my worry. That's my concern. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. And will bringing in these players this summer change everything at Manchester United? Let me know, guys. Comment when this video finishes. Let me know what you think. I'll look back on them and see how many people completely disagreed with me and slagged me off. Well, that's just how I'm seeing it right now, everyone. It's all fun and games. We love the banter, really. Paul Mooley here with the super chat. Remember, it took Fergie 4 years to build the dynasty. Different time, but I know what you mean, mate. I do. Cheers for the super chat on that one. Different type of football as well. It's completely changed now. We ain't got the competition that we've got now. We didn't have that back then. I mean, look what Conte did with what we thought was a poor Spurs team. When the structure is in place, when the club is moving and going in the same direction from top to bottom, things work and it happens. This is down to United now to prove to the fan base that they are going to be fully behind Erik Ten Hag. And this is our last chance, in my opinion, because I don't see anyone coming in after Ten Hag. Honestly, lads, we know what he's like. We know what he does. We know how he works with the players and how in control he is. It's what we've all asked for and what we've wanted. The players not being let off the hook. This is where we need to go. We need to get behind Ten Hag and push this. Guys, let me know what you think. Get your comments in, like I said. Give the video a like, share, and subscribe to the United Stand. 1.4 million subscribers on this channel right now, everybody. Let's keep that rolling. We've got loads coming up for the new season. I'm going to be back this week. We've got Mark, Charlie, Beth, Ricky's back this week as well. We're previewing the season. We've got loads of fresh content coming up, guys. So stay tuned for everything this week before the season starts. There's loads going on and some special shows as well, like I said. Why do people put super chats just as I'm doing the finishing? Thank you anyway, Marcel. Appreciate it very much. But if we get the young Antoinette, we will have a chance of top four. CR7 doesn't want to be there, so let him go. Šeško could be amazing work. Amazing worth the risk, I think you were saying there, mate. I disagree on Šeško, like I said, but I see where you're coming from. I prefer United bringing the younger players through from their academy. Right now, we need players that are going to strengthen the first team. Guys, that's it. Cheers for watching, everybody. I will see you through the week. Obviously, the season starts this weekend. And just stay tuned to United Stand because we'll have updates on everything that I just said and what's happening this weekend for the first game of the season. Like, share, and subscribe, everybody. I'm out of here. Have a good rest of the week, people.